Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my review of the Chelsea versus AS Roma game, and it finished 3-3. And to be honest, I don't really know what to feel like right now, because we were 2-0 up, but then we were 3-2 down as well and we got a point. But I'll run you through the game as I usually do. So obviously starting off with the lineup, I got it almost right. Let's say that. We started off with a 3-5-2 formation. Thibaut Courtois in goal. Back three being Cesar Spilicueta, Andreas Christensen and Gary Cahill instead of my predicted Antonio Rudiger. Then the two wingbacks were Davide Zappacosta, Marcos Alonso. And then the three central midfielders, or holding midfielders and central midfielder, David Luiz, Bakayoko and Cesc Fabregas. And then obviously up front it was Morata with Eden Hazard just behind him. Well, we started off well. Only 5 minutes in, we had a very good chance for Alvaro Morata. Hazard played him through, and Morata was basically one-on-one with the keeper, just inside the box, but his shot just went straight into the keeper's arm, so really should have done better with that finish, not gonna lie. Just 3 minutes after that, Roma had the first big chance of the game through Perotti, after he completely danced through the whole of our team basically, and had a shot from just outside the box, but just about put it over from about 20 yards. And then in the 11th minute, David Luiz from that central midfield, holding midfield position, with an absolute beauty of a goal. The ball basically fell to him in the middle of the park. He actually tried to find Morata with a through ball, which got intercepted but fell back to David Luiz. And then he took it first time from about 25 yards and perfectly curled it into the goal, just about inside the post. No chance of saving that for the keeper whatsoever. And I was like buzzing. You know, I was like, 11 minutes in, already 1-0 up. This is quality. Then in the 21st minute, a very decent chance fell to Eden Hazard after he won the ball back himself just inside the Roma half. He ran towards goal, had Morata next to him, but he did decide to have a shot himself and he put it just wide rather than laying it off to Morata, who wasn't in the greatest position either, to be fair. So, you know, I kind of get why Hazard took it himself. Then in the 30th minute, a massive chance fell to Roma's Nainggolan. When we defended a bit, you know, sloppily, if you will, Nainggolan was through and goal basically completely on his own on the right side of our box. He put it on target, but Courtois pulled off a great save with his foot. In the 35th, another chance came to Perotti. After they hit us on a counter, Morata actually got nutmegged in the middle of the park when he was already charging back to basically defend the counter-attack. But after he got nutmegged, he just stopped. You know, it just stood there, completely still. Thankfully, Perotti's chance went straight into Thibaut Courtois' arms. And then in the 37th minute, Eden Hazard made it 2-0. Mistake by Roma. Eden picked it up himself in midfield, played it to Morata, who actually tried to cut in and have a shot. His shot got blocked or deflected, whichever way you will. It basically flew over the Roma defenders, bounced in front of Eden Hazard, who took it on the half volley and tapped it in from, say, 5, 6, 7 yards, something like that. And I was buzzing. 2-0 up just before half time. I was like, right, let's get into half time with this lead now and then play it out in the second half. But no, you know, wasn't meant to be now, was it? Because in the 40th minute, Alexander Kolarov, former Manchester City player, made it 2-1. First, he made Azpilicueta look like the biggest schoolboy of all time. He played the ball round Azpilicueta on one side, ran round him the other side, and then was just in our box, had a shot. Andreas Christensen got a slight deflection to it, which made it completely unsavable for Courtois. I'm not saying Courtois would have saved it otherwise, but I think he might have gotten a touch to it and maybe would have put it over the bar. Difficult to say, obviously, but, you know, kind of unlucky, but very, very poor defending by Azpilicueta. Although Kolarov did very well in that instance as well, but you shouldn't just get mugged off like that if you're as good as Azpilicueta is. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You know, just seeing it now going through my notes. In the 44th minute, we didn't get awarded a clear as hell penalty, but Morata was clearly brought down by Fazio inside the box. He basically took the ball away from the defender and then Fazio just tripped him. It's a clear as hell penalty. You couldn't be any clearer in my opinion, and a bit annoying, especially looking at the, you know, end result now. So that was it. Went into half time. Even game, but Roma had more of the ball, arguably a few more chances, but both teams could have scored more, especially, you know, with the penalty towards the end. But it was just a very entertaining first half, especially because we were 2-1 up, so I was not too upset at the time. Roma then definitely had the stronger start into the second half. We sat very deep. I don't really know why, but they made us sit very deep. You know, it's not like, yes, we didn't really try to attack them like crazy, but they made us, you know, they put so much pressure on us that we sat deeper and deeper and deeper. And every time we tried to hit them on the counter, we just lost the ball fairly early on, so we just couldn't really get out of that, you know, misery of being stuck at the back. Roma had a few half chances in that first, say, 10-15 minutes of the second half. Like I said, a few half chances and a few almost moments, but no shots on target. Then in the 57th minute, David Luiz got taken off for Pedro, which was a very interesting substitution, and I thought at the time a very risky substitution as well. Luiz wasn't happy at all about it. He was well fuming that he had to come off. But then Matt Law tweeted that apparently Luiz went into the tunnel with the doctor, but he did come out again later. So if he's not properly injured, that he couldn't have continued the game, I think that was a mistake by Antonio Conte. Obviously, Pedro coming on meant we changed from the 3-5-2 to a 3-4-3. And then in the 64th minute, Edin Dzeko made it 2-2. And fair play to the guy. What a goal. What an unbelievable goal. I have to admit it. He took an over-the-top ball over Christensen, over our midfield as well, on the volley, sprinting next to Andreas Christensen. He took it on the volley and he just blasted it into the goal. Unbelievable goal. Unbelievable strike that as well. No chance of saving that for Courtois. It was basically already in the net when Courtois, finally got his hands up. And not even saying Courtois was slow. It was just that great of a strike. And just 6 minutes after that, in the 70th minute, Dzeko made it 3-2. And then I was getting annoyed. I was starting to get well annoyed at that. Because actually, Roma hit us on the break after their keeper caught that cross by Hazard on their end. Then, like I said, they hit us on the counter. Bakayoko was charging after, I think it was Perotti, basically fucked up his first tackle and just couldn't push Perotti off the ball enough, or, just didn't put his tackle in properly, and then he had to basically bring him down just outside the box. Kolarov stepped up to take the free kick. He crossed it in, and Edin Dzeko was just, completely unmarked and just put it in with a very nice header into the bottom corner. And I was just very annoyed at that point. Like, we're 2-0 up, and now we're 3-2 down in the 70th minute, conceding 2 goals just inside 6 minutes and inside 15 minutes of taking David Luiz off. So I was well annoyed at the time. But thankfully, in the 75th minute, Eden Hazard popped up again with his second goal of the day, with his second goal of the season for Chelsea, and made it 3-3, and with his head as well. How often does Eden Hazard score headers? Not very often. Got away from the defender inside the box. Pedro chip-crossed it into Eden Hazard, who from about 12 yards perfectly headed it into the bottom left corner. No chance of saving that for the keeper, and I was like, right, what do we do now? Do we actually think we can win this now? Will we try to win this because Roma were the better team? But then, basically a second later, it was, decided that we weren't really going to try to win it because Antonio Conte put Antonio Rudiger on instead of Zappacosta, obviously pushing Azpilicueta out to the right wing-back spot and obviously Antonio Rudiger to the right centre-back spot in the back three. Which, like I said, was just a bit strange to me. Like, we just scored the equaliser. The momentum possibly changes with something like that. Do we not want to win? Like, I'm not saying, obviously, just because we take Zappacosta off and put Azpilicueta there's no chance of winning. But it's definitely a defensive-minded substitution. Yes, I get that we weren't all too great defensively, but didn't improve much with that substitution, I'm not going to lie. Then in the 80th minute, Willian came on for Eden Hazard, which again, was just strange. Like, yes, maybe Hazard was tired because I think he played the full game against Palace and now obviously played today and hasn't been back from injury for that long, so fair enough. But, Hazard was, the only man that looked like could do something all game long, really. Along with Morata in the first half, I suppose. But taking him off, if you want to win a game, even if he's tired, he's probably still a lot more likely to score a goal than Willian is. And then actually in the 81st minute, Edin Dzeko goes so close to making it 4-3. When he put a header from, very close, just outside the 6-yard box, I'd say. He put it wide, luckily, like he really should have done better there, but my heart dropped when I saw that ball crossed in and Dzeko running up to it. And basically the last mentionable chance of the game was in the 84th minute after Rudiger had a fair bit of space inside the box after a corner. Fabregas crossed it into him, but annoyingly he put the header wide and over kind of thing. But yeah, that was it. Full time 3-3, obviously, as you can see from the title, as most of you probably know. So yeah, like I said in the beginning, I don't really know what to feel like right now because Roma were the better team. So looking at it that way, we should be fairly happy with a 3-3 draw. But when you're 2-0 up after 37 minutes, you can't be happy with drawing 3-2. But then again, at the same time, we actually fucked it up so bad that we were 3-2 down and then had the balls and the fight to actually fight back and get the 3-3 through Eden Hazard. So I'm kind of happy, I'm kind of upset. The fact that Atletico actually drew away at Karabag today, earlier today, they played at 5 PM UK time, they drew 0-0, it leaves us top of the Champions League group with 7 points, still 2 points ahead of Roma, who are now on 5 points, Atletico Madrid on 2 points, and Karabag on 1 point. So it's not that bad of a result. A win would basically have meant that we're already almost through, if you will, because we would have been 5 clear of Roma and 7 clear of Atletico. But, we're not. But it is, still a decent and good position to be in, if we're being honest. And yeah, I have to say, I think taking David Luiz off for Pedro didn't make us any better going forward, but certainly took some stability away. So if he isn't injured enough that he had to come off, I really think that was a mistake by Antonio Conte, like I said earlier. Although at the same time, there's not much you can do about that Dzeko equaliser. Like, such an unbelievable goal, a pass from basically the middle of the pitch. So, yes, you possibly can close the passer of the ball down a bit more, but, these things just happen. You can't close everyone down for the whole 90 minutes. It doesn't work. And how many times will any player, let alone, Edin Dzeko from Roma at Chelsea, score a goal like that. You know, it's incredible goal and unlucky for us, but I don't think David Luiz would have changed much about that. And the free kick, you know, we got hit on the counter. Maybe, you know, he would have been in that position to defend it rather than Bakayoko. That's difficult to judge when obviously Bakayoko committed that stupid foul, which obviously then led to the 3-2 goal. But yeah, like I said, I still think it was a mistake. Obviously, it's, you know, no one will ever know whether we would have won if David Luiz stayed on, or maybe even would have lost if David Luiz stayed on, or the same thing would have happened. We will never know. But I think it wasn't the perfect decision that Antonio Conte made there tonight. Talking about a few players only individually, I thought Alonso and Azpilicueta were possibly our worst performers today. Alonso just left, you know, his side completely empty so many times. He drifted inside so much. Obviously, that could have been, you know, commands by the manager. I don't know, but it just looked very weird. Like, they switched the game so much onto Alonso's side, and he always just had to run onto it and could never, I don't know, head away the, you know, switch of play, or just stop them switching the play if he was stood there anyway. So, like, I wasn't happy with that at all. Then Azpilicueta obviously got made fun of, basically, by Kolarov for that first goal by Roma. So, them two I wasn't also happy with. Like I said, after Palace already, Azpilicueta hasn't been all that great this season, and he really needs to fix up, I think. Morata was completely invisible in the second half. Like, he did nothing. He didn't win many challenges. He didn't win many headers. He wasn't involved in much of our attacking play. Well, to be fair, we didn't have much attacking play in the second half. But in the first half, Morata was very good, you know, kind of assisted Hazard's goal with the shot that got blocked, and, you know, had a decent game. Possibly should have scored a goal. Well, definitely should have scored a goal with that chance in the 5th minute. But, you know, second half, invisible. First half, very good, you know, saw the complete difference from playing Batshuayi and playing him up front, you know, massive difference. But I'm not going to be too harsh on him because obviously he just came back from injury, like literally today. Possibly wasn't 100% fit. Very surprised that he actually played the full 90 minutes. You know, he seemed fine, but maybe he looked a bit hesitant to sprint and run as much as he usually does. Like, in the defensive point of view, maybe Conte told him, right, you know, give your muscle a little bit of rest. You don't have to run defensively as much as you usually would do. Maybe that, but he looked like, you know, a bit more hesitant of sprinting, except when we were obviously on the ball trying to score a goal. And then Eden Hazard, I slated him after the Crystal Palace game. A lot of you hated me for doing that, but today he did exactly what he didn't do against Crystal Palace. He popped up with a goal. He showed up in a game when we needed him most. He scored the 2-0 at the time, and then he scored the vital 3-3 equaliser to rescue at least a point against Roma today. But yeah, that's really it from me. Leave me all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. You know, who was your man of the match, if anyone? Do you think it is a fair result? Are you like me? Are you not sure whether you should be happy or sad or annoyed? You know, like I said, I'm not 100% sure. Leave all of that down in the comment section below. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Also check out my social media, Instagram and Twitter, last1507 on there. Follow me there, I'd massively appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe to 100% Chelsea by clicking that button over here. Upwards and onwards, you know, we can only go from here. It's up Watford on the weekend, you know. Let's just get back to winning ways there. Thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea, and I'll see you next time.